All right. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are already YouTube subscribers, I appreciate your continued love and support. Thank you so very much. For those of you who are brand new, my name is Cody. I am your conscious soul reader. We're going to be taking a look at the last supermoon for 2024. This is a full supermoon in Taurus, and it is going to be on November the 15th, 2024. For those of you who are aware, this is also the very end of Scorpio season. So we still have that scorpionic influence over this full moon in Taurus. And if any of you are aware of the full moon, this is a time of release. The moon has a great impact on each and every single one of us, as we are, 70% water. You think about what it does to the oceans, what it does to our personalities, what it does to pregnant women, right? There is a lot of chaotic energy. You think of the term lunatic, it came from moon phases, full moon energy. So full moons tend to be a little bit more emotional. There's going to be a lot of emphasis on things that have been blocking you from transitioning yourself, from truly obtaining your deepest desires. What has been very fixed and locked in for a very long time that you may not have been as honest with yourself about, right? So when you think of that Scorpio energy, you think of very mysterious, very secretive energy. And so this is about truly being very, very honest with yourself and really, really looking at those blockages, those deep, deep dives into what you have held on for so long, which you have made excuses for, which you have tucked away and hid away from the world, right? For others of you, this could just be surface things. This just could be something that has been a very long standing, very deep attachment for some of you, that it is time. It is time to look at it honestly and think about parting ways, think about doing differently, think about maybe redirecting that energy and a focus elsewhere. So when you think of Taurus energy, this is very grounded. This is very money focused. It's very lucrative, luxurious energy because it is focused around the Hierophant. It is focused around the Empress, and these are very prestigious, very practical, very reasonable, yet luxurious, right? Think of your priests and bishops and clergymen of the like. They're very well adorned, very respectable, very decorated. And this is luxurious. When you think of that Empress, the Empress is the highest ranking queen. So you better know that's the best of the best. Venus energy, goddess energy. So, but it is fixed. It is, it stands the test of time. It's that if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of look. But that's super Taurus, right? And a little touch of Scorpio. They are opposite of one another on the zodiac wheel. So they tend to mirror one another. They do tend to mirror one another. Look at this cat. He is a mess. But it's a fulfillment of what the other is not able to provide. So there is a fulfillment from one another that happens here. So there's a bit of a balance. So if you can truly sit with yourself honestly and really look at things that need to be removed that are honest blockages, this could be a very, very powerful time for you to make some very bold moves into the new year, into this new year that will set you up for a very lucrative, luxurious 2025. Now, I have pulled something here. So we're going to look at with glasses because I can't read without them. So the beaver moon is named for the beaver's activity preparing for winter during this time. Prepare yourself and your space for the months ahead. Plan, execute, create change. So this is about being very active, very focused, working hard, and sticking to it, making sure that you're ready. You're ready so that you don't get caught unaware. So the intentions that they are bringing out here, this is from the Light for All page from Instagram. They're looking at cooperation, divination, healing, and hope. So there are some things here that they would like you to focus on. So I found this to be very beneficial. So take a lot of deep breaths. Maybe focus and work on your breath work. This is very helpful to center and focus and ground yourself, to get more calm, to push out the chaos and the distractions. So maybe work on breath work. Avoid distractions. Don't overreact. Don't overact. Don't overreact. Enjoy a nice meal. That is very Taurus energy. So on Friday, November the 15th, make sure to really nourish yourself. Really, really nourish yourself with something very beneficial, something that will help to sustain this energy that you're going to be burning, okay? Because you're going to be burning a lot of energy, doing a lot of things, preparing. Be aware of others' feelings, okay? So full moons, especially fixed full moons, are heightened energy. Super moons, the moon's a little closer because of the axis of the moon and the earth. And because that is a little bit closer, emotions tend to be heightened. And depending on the house that your sun sign is going through, there is going to be special emphasis on this. I am a Cancer sun sign, and mine is going to be in the 11th house. So then Leo is going to be, so we go forward and then it goes backwards on the house. So then Leo's going to be in the 10th house. Okay. And then we've got Virgo going to be in the 9th house, and so on. Okay. And so on. So you can look this up on other astrology pages. I am not specifically going to go into this, but there are plenty of people who will cover this. I specifically watch the astrology guy. He is here on YouTube, and you can look him up, and he goes into it in detail. I will probably tag him in the comment section for you as well. So they're also calling to listen from the heart. And when you think of Taurus energy, Taurus is of the heart chakra. They are kind of related in that this is about listening from the heart. Okay, from the heart. Being very attuned, being very compassionate, loving. Okay, more goddess energy, right? Find comfort in the simple pleasures. Okay, caress your soul. By Lingerie, my favorite. Honor the earth. I love Mother Gaia. Anything you can do to nurture the planet, to care for the earth, to give back to the earth, because she does so much for us. I'm a huge fan. Aquarius rising. Yes. Manifest fortunes, super Taurus energy. Take care of your body. Again, more Venus energy, right? So they do have the topaz and the citrine for crystals that they are calling for. So these might be helpful if you are interested in doing any type of grounding meditation. They're calling for topaz and citrine being very helpful to call out these energies, to give them even more impact and power. The topaz affirmation is saying, I am abundantly creative. My life is overflowing with joy. And when you are using your citrine, the affirmation they are calling for here says, I easily attract what I need. I embrace my success and confidence. And again, this is from the Light for All over on Instagram. found that real quick before I came on. So let's go ahead and look at some oracle. We're going to pull from the Moonology first, and then I'm going to grab a few more oracle decks. We will get some more information on some manifestation focus, possible blockages that you may be experiencing, and possible advice you could use. If anything does not fit, please leave it for those it does resonate with. All right, what does my collective need to know? Beautiful. Yes, we have that Scorpio energy showing up for us. Reveal what needs to be seen. What are you truly blocking from yourself? 1111 on my recording when I did that. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. Reveal what needs to be seen. And again, this is going back to taking a real honest look at it. Real honest look. Last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. And again, that super moon is going to be very close. So emotions are going to be heightened. You're going to be very sensitive, easily triggered. To those of you who have not done any extensive amounts of inner work. Also, for those of you who don't meditate very often, I am going to warn you to be very careful around this time, to be very aware of this energy, to try to be mindful of your reaction, okay? And at the bottom of the deck, we've got first quarter moon in Leo. Be humble, okay? Be humble. Oh, release your blocks. First quarter moon in Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. I love it. I'm very happy that Scorpio energy is showing up. It's very interesting that we have Leo and Aries energy partnering. So lots of fuel to be able to get this done. Lots of fire energy showing up to accompany everything here. So we're going to look first at the last quarter moon in Scorpio. 2 last quarter moons and 2 last quarter moons and then 2 first quarter moons. So the last quarter moons were pulled, first quarter moon's bottom. I like it. Beautiful. Okay. Reveal what needs to be seen. There are some things that people just don't like to talk about. Drawing this card suggests that there is an issue or situation in your life now that might not be easy to air. Or perhaps you feel that you shouldn't air it. That's fine. Now is the time for you to reveal only what you want to be seen. Don't feel the need to discuss everything with everyone. Some matters require discretion. The less codependent you are, the better chance you have of getting what you want. Getting what you want. The more we bring others into our world and let people know, the more we are risking opposition. An extensive amount of opinions. People start to give you their ideas, their experiences, and then you tend to be oversaturated. And a lot of times it's not even from people that you would really want to have information from whenever it comes to certain things. Sometimes it's people who, don't really know honestly what they're talking about. Sometimes it's people who just love you and think that they're helping. Sometimes it's people who just, are really into the echo chamber advice, column and want to tell you the latest thing they heard. And this person said this, and my sister's cousin's hairdresser told me about this thing that works, or you should try this. And I heard this from somewhere, and you should try this. Take those with a grain of salt. You want to really, really, really consider the source. And if there is not a viable source that you can hang a hat on, I wouldn't be asking around those types of people. I wouldn't be dependent on those particular opinions or pieces of advice. Okay? Not particularly. This need for you to be honest with yourself, even if you can't air this with other people, there's no reason to keep yourself from experiencing the ability to work through these blockages or the things that you have been putting off. And this is done whenever you are moved and feeling drawn to want to sit in a good vibration and truly do that inner work, to truly look at the things that would benefit you to be released and let go of. Those things that are not easy to air, not easy to talk about. It's fine. Not everybody needs to know. That's all good and well. Not everybody's business is yours. You know what I mean? So that's all fine. But you still need to do the work on self. Just because we are hiding it away from the world doesn't mean it's hiding away from you. Okay. It will still air itself. It will still come up whenever you least expect it. If you are hiding it away, a lot of times it's a very inconvenient time. So it's better to deal with it if and when you can. Okay, whatever those blockages are. So let's go ahead and look at the last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. Someone has had their feelings hurt. Maybe it's you. Deal with the upset. Especially, but not only, if it's on the home front. Whatever you've got going on now will go better if you take steps to make sure that no one is feeling like they've been emotionally run over. If you feel like your feelings have been trampled on, it's time to work through them and clear them. Then you can move towards your goals. It's hard to manifest when hurt feelings are in the way. Lord, ain't that the truth? I am, again, I'm Cancer Sun, and I've had a very, very, very difficult time. I have a Libra moon, and I like peace. I don't like chaos. I like a very happy household, right? I like everybody to be happy around me. I have an Aquarius rising, so I'm all about the community. I mean, bless my soul. It's water and air. I just want things to be bubbly and light. You know what I mean? And when things are heavy, I feel very uncomfortable. I feel very unable to focus, particularly myself personally. I am very unable to be productive. I just want to sit and self-soothe when my feelings have been hurt. And this is perfectly acceptable to do because you can't really depend on others to do this for you. We are not babies. We don't need to be coddled. We shouldn't really be coddled because that puts you in a state of codependency, and we don't want to be codependent. We want to be very independent whenever we are trying to work through our issues because they are yours. It's difficult to try to have other people understand where you're coming from, and your perception is your perception anyway. Their perception is their perception. And it's something that you're needing to really, again, be honest with yourself. The geese are flying over. I wanted to be quiet in case y'all got to hear the geese. The geese have been following me since my awakening, and I love it so much. It makes me so happy. Now that I'm up near Canada, they're rampant. They're all over the place. Okay. So, working through your feelings. So your manifesting mindset, when someone upsets you, it's easy to wear your hurt like a badge of honor, right? The victim blanket, I call it. You wrapped yourself up in the victim blanket, and somebody needs to come and take it off of you and soothe you out of it, right? This is my Cancer energy coming out. And an opposite of Cancer on the wheel is Capricorn. Capricorn energy. And Capricorn energy is very, very raw, very unemotional, right? And so think of like the polar opposite of that. That's something that you need to try to move into to try to help you soothe this side of yourself. That badge of honor, it's a mask. This is something that is blocking you from truly working through issues. Wearing and sitting in your anger, your sadness, your grief, You have the right to feel all of these things, of course, but sitting in it is unproductive, counterproductive in a lot of cases. So you really want to be able to honestly work through your feelings. Wearing your hurt feelings as a badge of honor, it perpetuates the situation, which it just further instigates it. Your vibe will affect your tribe. So everything you think and are feeling is affecting your quantum field. So other people can feel it, especially if you have kids. They're just little empaths. So they're just going to mirror back at you. So it's especially important for you to work through your feelings when you have kids around. That is adamant. So because they're just going to feel it too. Your partner will notice and feel it, and it kind of hangs heavy on your environment. So that's a very difficult place to manifest from. So it's important to work through those. So first quarter moon in Scorpio at the bottom of the deck. Release your blocks. Oh, be humble was first. I was so excited about that one. We'll look at first quarter moon in Leo. Be humble technically was first. I am very fair. So Libra moon rears itself again. Be humble. Kendrick Lamar pops into my head every time. Tension is in the air. You know that you can achieve your goals, which is half the battle. But this card suggests that you need to be a little less show and a little more substance as you move slowly towards your goals. Don't try to impress anybody with money. Avoid your ego. Avoid allowing your ego to overwhelm you. Don't opt for something merely because you think it'll impress others. Practice grounding in a financial situation. Slow your spending in love. If you're being stubborn or possessive, now's the time to stop it. So identify and clear any blocks. Step up to receive all the goodies that life has to offer you. You have to want it. It starts with you. You have to want those blocks to be moved. You have to want it. Only you can do it. You have to identify them and take care of it. Sitting down, being honest, working through your emotional attachments to a lot of them. Sometimes we will imprint on a lot of our attachments. They've been with us for a very long time. Some of them, there are creature comforts. They're habits, right? A lot of times these are, that blanket that we've wrapped ourselves in to protect ourselves. So being humble also, this is not about showing off when you do obtain. It's important to stay consistently at the ready to receive and unattached to what you obtain. Unattached to what you obtain. The only thing you can ever attach yourself to is your mission. So anything you obtain is able to be taken away, except for your knowledge, except for your experience, except for the lessons, right? So these are all the things that you only have to be able to attach to. Everything else is just temporary. So keep it real, super easy. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, keep it easy. Be humble. Be humble as you journey, because you absolutely are going to get this figured out. When you start drawing in all this big time money and fame and fortune, whatever it is you're after, when you obtain the right kind of hobbies and habits and you ditch the bad ones and you finally got your life on track and everything starts coming into fruition for you and everything starts falling into place, remain humble about it. Be a guide in this, because you once too were a novice. You once too were a beginner. Having compassion and leading the way makes you much stronger. It makes you much more powerful. Makes you much more of the regal leader that Leo energy evokes. We've got Leo, Taurus, Scorpio. All the fixed signs are showing up. And little O Aries. Not little at all. They are the beginner. It's baby fire. But they are cardinals, so they're go-getters. They don't take no prisoners. If you know any Aries, you know. If you know, you know. All right. So, perfect. Let's get into releasing your blockages. Let's go to first quarter moon in Scorpio. Release those gosh darn blockages. When it comes to pushing through your fears and any other negative feelings, you're going to have to dig deeper. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Because fear blocks us. Make time to clear any toxic feelings around you. Don't let pride stop you from showing how dearly you want something. It's okay to be vulnerable if you know the people you're dealing with are trustworthy. Think about others as much as you think about yourself. So being vulnerable if they're trustworthy, very important. And that's very Scorpio too, because Scorpios takes a while to get inside of that fortress when it comes to Scorpio energy, and that trust is earned, whereas a lot of people will offer trust and then it is quickly taken away if you damage that trust. Scorpio is naturally skeptical and make you work for that trust. They make you work for it, and so don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Think what a mental detox would involve for you. For example, avoiding people you argue with and violence on TV, etc. Make time for it soon. Releasing these blockages. Okay, so blockages are things that you consume. What you right, what you are what you eat. Think of that. So eating, consuming. Your mind is consuming, your soul is consuming, your heart is consuming. Be very mindful of this. Be very mindful of how much of what you're consuming is connected to what it is you're wanting to acquire, become, draw in, obtain, move towards. Okay? So the toxic feelings towards the things that are around you, working through those feelings. Sometimes we are our own blocks because we go negative sometimes. Sometimes we've been at it so long, and maybe there are some bad habits with being very negative. Maybe we tend to look outward as a snap reaction versus going inward, which should be the first place you look for anything. Answers, responsibilities, accountabilities, the spot that needs change, where you can start to make things happen for you. Okay? It starts with looking inward, not outward. Okay, so being honest about that. Fantastic. Okay. Love it. Let's go ahead and get some wisdom from the Wisdom Oracle, and then we will do a quick mini. Thank you. So we have time to go. Time to go coming out. We've got by the book also coming out. So 45 and 11. Number 24, time for a nap. Between Worlds and Unfinished Symphony. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we've got Change in the Wind coming out. First number up, we've got 45. Also the number 9. Number 9 energy, if either one of those resonate with you, could be April 5th. Could be May 4th. All right, time to go. It is time to go. You are at the ending of one journey and have not yet begun the next. Very Scorpio energy. Endings so that we can have new beginnings. Love it. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. Your destiny is calling you. This is that urge, that nudge. This is very much aligned with having to release what is blocking you and preventing you from making those steps, from allowing you to be what it is you've been dreaming of, you felt called to do, you felt intuitively nudged to do, you have felt drawn to for some wild reason, whatever it may be. Some of you may be called to do something completely different than you've been doing. I have done this numerous times. That's super Scorpio energy. Super Scorpio energy. I am a jack of all trades. A Jackie of all trades. All right. So I can't help but think I want to go ahead and look at Between Worlds, because we were talking about that you have not yet begun the next. So we're going to move back over to number 3. You have not yet begun the next. Okay, so you're in a transitionary period. And even if you need to be here for a time, that's okay. This is about your journey. This is about you feeling comfortable and aligned with wherever you're drawn to go. And it's very important to not have a bunch of people having their opinions about what you feel called to do. This is you and your higher self, no one else. No one else, not your children, not your spouse, not your parents, not your friends, not your ride or die, not any of those. It's you and your twin flame, your higher self. More to come on that. Did you know your twin flame is not somebody outside of you? It's actually yourself. This is why you can mirror and project on anybody, and they can show you how you need to get back in touch with your highest, best possible life path, aka this twin flame gobbledygook. Okay, there's a little side note for those of you that just couldn't wait. More to come on that, though. More to come on that. This has been eaten at me and my person also. We have had a lot of discovery and conversation about this. I think we're both drawn to do something special about this. So again, transitions, right? Both of these cards are about transition. So is a change in the wind. And this unfinished symphony is looking at the things that you need to get rid of that are blocking you. This is things that are, needing to be tied up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited that these cards came out. So Between the Worlds is where you must let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you are unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process of the change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences. In this place, between what was and what will be, is a state of making and unmaking and making again. That unprogramming to reprogram, right? Cleaning out the old supercomputer so that it functions tip-top, brand new, upgrades, right? Okay. This is essential now. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is a great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life with a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. The seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you are between the worlds, you are invited to see with the curious eyes of a child glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so, and you will not be disappointed. You cannot possibly fathom this new thing that you're going to, this new experience, this new habit, hobby, whatever, because you have not done it before. So how can your mind possibly create a place you have never been before, an experience you have never felt before? So this is about releasing your attachment to trying to figure it out or put details or a lot of focus on the outcome, and more so about the evolvement, the movement from what was to what will be. So this is that transitionary period where the focus is of being able to connect with your consciousness, the divine consciousness of those downloads, messages, vibrations, understanding that efforts put towards something that is resisting you is not for you, when to let go, when to redirect to achieve outcomes of greater, higher purpose. Okay. Becoming very aware, very attuned and very aware. So let's go back. Let's go in order. So we'll go back to number 11. So some of you could actually have that number be 11. Some of you are looking at January 1st. Some of you could be looking at the number 2. So now is the time for a real change in consciousness as you are incited to revolt. Challenge the structures that are limiting authentic progress. It is not enough to rebel in small ways. This is a call to revolution. Focus on what you really want to achieve, regardless of whether it feels far outside of the box that established order may reject it. Genius, invention, and transformation are rarely comfortable and less likely to be accepted by the mainstream. It may be time for you to say no to the way of your group, take a stand, and make real changes. It could be that the structure of your inner world is alerting you to the need for a complete overhaul. This is a time for transformation. So let go of the fear of change. Your intuition will lead you through the darkness. There is no turning back now. Trust the light will dawn. Epiphanies will surely lead to miracles. When you're being pushed into transition, there has been this static fix on how you have been doing things thus far, and there has been blockages in you remaining static and remaining too dependent upon what these social constructs have created for you. A lot of times this is that same feeling that you get whenever you're talking about the audacity of the way something has been built and the way something is running, and everyone's response is, oh well, that's just the way it is. And this is that feeling whenever we have that fixed sign energy coming up. This is like a rebellion that is burning inside of you, saying there has got to be a better way. There has got to be something better. And it's about being the voice of revolution, to say it enough times, to say it in the most impactful way so that it's received, so that you can truly make a difference in the world and the way things have been done. There has been, a call to make revolutionary changes by things that have been going by the book. You can add chapters. This is why they have revisions. This is why they have amendments to the way things have been. If you see a change that is being called for, this is you needing to take a look at this. Needing to take a look and moving outside of the restrictions of conformity sometimes. So real change comes whenever you shift out of what you have fixed yourself in. Sometimes this is your limited beliefs and the way you have thought things to be so far. The information you have been given will lock you into a specific way of doing, thinking, and operating. When we block ourselves from receiving new information, we have restricted the possibility of growth and evolution by telling ourselves we already know. Allowing for new information and wisdom to come in offers you the ability to create real change, to create the change that you're seeking. So this is also a potential block for a lot of you, by being too conformed, by being too rigid in your thinking, by thinking you already know. Okay. I'll do that in a second. We'll end with the nap. Unfinished Symphony. Number 10. This is funny because we have 11, 10, and 12. 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. When unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it's a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It's not your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win. Okay, unfinished symphony. This is about things that you have been putting off, that I'll finish it tomorrow. I'll get to it eventually. Yeah, I've been meaning to get that done and taken care of. I've been meaning to make that call. I've been meaning to get that looked at. Just get it done, right? Even throwing any effort or anything at it is at least putting energy back into it, which allows for movement and things that have been sitting stagnant, right? We want to get movement going whenever we're sitting in fixed energy of things that have been blocking and restricting growth, evolution, and change. So this is all the things that could be blocking you. These are things that have been, kind of been put off. This is that energy of, kicking the can down the road. How much longer are you going to kick that can before you bend down, pick it up, and put it in the recycle bin? You may like the sound of it going down the road. I don't know. You may have a little rhythm going, but. So you are a human being, not a human doing. Is it possible you are suffering from workaholism? Could you be the one who thinks it's your job to save everyone, to be there for everyone, to go, go, go until you can barely see straight? You've gone as far as you can. You've worked hard and nourished people and projects, but now you are an empty well and have no reserve for others or for yourself. Don't let your ego keep you going full speed when your body and spirit need to rest. Exhaustion is calling you to stop what you're doing altogether and take a break. If you don't, the appearance of this card could portend a possible illness that stems from being totally overwhelmed. You will feel like a new person if you take that break. Do it now. I feel like Miranda Priestley when I say that. Do it now. That's all. So it's simple, right? You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give. You cannot do for everybody else without taking care of you. Request it. Tell people, I need an hour. I need a day. I need a weekend, right? I need a week off. Do a staycation. Unplug your phone. Turn off everything. Go out to the woods. Ground yourself. Be very grounded and centered at this time. This is a time of rest. This is a time of taking care and nourishing yourself so that you have the energy to put everything in place so that you can push through these closing winter months, so that you can give all you have to what it is that you're trying to make happen. And so that you can continue this energy. You're going to feel a lot better when you do. Trust and believe that. A change in the wind. So we're calling for a change in the wind. Number 12. So 24 was 6, number 6 energy. Could be February 4th for some of you, April 2nd for others of you. All right. 12 could be looking at January 2nd, February 1st. That's my nephew's birthday. 12. Okay, change in the wind. It is human nature to yearn for certainty and to resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one guaranteed is change. Now is the time of transformation as our outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. So outer world is no longer a frequency match for what is going on inside. This is why we feel uncomfortable. This is why we feel called and moved to change. It's because our outer world feels uncomfortable to what you're wanting from the inside. Your heart's contentment, your soul's desire no longer are aligning with what you've created so far. So stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil before better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what's coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. Now, a couple of times out here, it has said about you remaining aware, remain curious, right? For something that you have no idea about because you've never been there before. This is being in that energy of surrendering what's to come while working towards your heart's desires. There is a fine orchestra here with that unfinished symphony coming out. Orchestraic masterpiece that you are putting together. This is a fine tuning of letting go, drawing in, working, resting, balance, everything in balance. The pendulum can't swing too far one way without swinging in an overextension back in the other way. So this is about you wanting to be nice and even amounts everywhere you're going. Okay, so this is going to allow for that move, that change, that transition to start to take hold. I talk with my hands a lot, huh? I do. Can't help it. Should have seen me doing hair. Put the scissors down. Okay. All right. Let's do a little mini reading. So we're going to look here briefly. I do have the gold foil ready. What are those past blockages? What is your current piece of guidance that you need to know right now? And what is some advice going forward? Okay. What does my collective need to know? Past blockages. We've got the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like there was planning, lots of planning, and this is about somebody who speaks a lot about it. Now, this could have been a lot of talk without a lot of action for some of you. For others of you, there could be so many new ideas that you don't even know where to begin. For others of you, this is about starting a lot of projects but not finishing. Okay, so take that how it resonates. What is your current energy looking like? Six of Pentacles. So your current advice for what you can do now, for what you can do in the moment now. Six of Pentacles is that balance, right? I was talking about the pendulum. This is about you being very practical about what's been receiving focus from you, what's been receiving a lot of energy from you, monetary donation from you, and really looking at what you've been getting out of it. What have you been getting out of these things? Are they truly helping you? Are they truly beneficial to your greater and higher good? Are they something that is aligned with your consciousness of your divine connection? Okay, some of these things are toxic attachments that could be blockages. That's that thing we need to be very honest about, right? Those honest looks at those toxic things that really need to be heavily considered, right? What is it and why are we needing that? Where is that coming from? Getting to the heart and the core of that will help you tremendously. Okay, so future outcome, future advice. Five of Pentacles, letting go. I love all this Taurus earth energy coming out with emphasis on that Taurus moon, right? So we've got letting go. Really looking at this as something beneficial. This is not a loss to you, okay? This is not a loss to you. This is not something that you're having to let go of that is going to hinder you. You don't need to look at it in this way. This is going to be for you. This is not happening to you. This is going to be for you. And the things that are coming in, you can't possibly imagine because you haven't been there before. You keep creating expectations, which are also incorrect because the expectations only lead us to disappointment, right? You keep creating expectations based on experiences you've only had so far. How can you possibly create expectations on places that you've never been before, experiences you've never had before, joys and fulfillment that you couldn't possibly have imagined because you haven't had it ever in your life? You have to see it to believe it, right? That old feeling. All right, let's look at the bottom of the deck. So we've got Temperance, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, and then we've got that Two of Wands coming out. So Sagittarius energy coming out for us, Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. All right, so this is taking a lot of time in the past. So you've put a lot into this. You've put a lot of emotional investment into this. I feel like there has been much time and investment to you talking and thinking and acquiring what you need to get you going, at least towards something that you've been thinking about so far. And I'm going to tell you, if you're in your 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you're ready for this, right? 70s, 80s, you're ready to start seeing the results because you've already been so far. So far, you've put this much in, and it's time. It's time now. So this is about, again, the Seven of Pentacles is that seed planter. This is the main manifester, besides the Magician, of course, but this is that manifestation. What is benefiting your manifestations and what is blocking them? Being very honest, because everywhere your energy goes is where your intention is growing. Okay, so this is about being very matter of fact. You want to really look at your checks and balances here. Really looking at your checks and balances here. And your future advice with that Scorpio energy, full super moon energy, it is sensitive. And I get it. I get it. You're looking right now, what am I going to get out of this? Okay. What's in it for me? What's in it for you is something you've never experienced before. So how can you possibly sit in that energy? You have got to detach yourself. Be free from the expectations. Be free from your limited view on what you're bringing in. It's very limited because you haven't been there yet. You haven't been there yet. How could you possibly know? How could you possibly know? All right, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out the reading here. I hope this helps. I hope this resonates for you. Go ahead and hit that like button. That notification bell will alert you every single time I'm energetically called to bring you a reading or go live. When I'm doing live collectives, this is your chance to ask me questions for a deeply discounted rate. If that is not your jam, personal private readings are able to be booked through my website. Every single thing is in that link tree that is in the description box of this video, including my other platforms. Everywhere you're following me ups your opportunity to catch me live and catch other clips of other videos I post on other platforms. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, here on YouTube, and the TikTok. So if you can stand them, head on over. If not, I get it. That notification bell, though, will help us stay real super close. And I am very grateful for each and every single one of you, as always, for tuning in, for playing along, all of your interactions, all of your comments, all the love you share. Thank you so very much. I just got over 900. I've continued to gain a little bit more each and every day, so I've cleared a hump. 1,000, here we come. I'm wishing you all the love, light, and abundance you can possibly stand. Until next time, y'all take care. Bye.